everything is now done on Jon's side, and the UFC now have to find a date and a venue, a place, location. So we're waiting for that. We've got some good news coming soon, hopefully.
Tom Aspin calls out Jon Jones after Alex Pereira's loss at UFC 3113, urging him to sign the contract for their heavyweight title unification fight.
Yeah, Jon, there's only one way. There's only one thing to do, mate. Sign the contract and let's get a date going. And I know.
Hey, Jon Jones is scared to fight me.
True. We'll say true.
Despite not being part of UFC 313, Tom Aspinall was one of the most talked about names among fans. The event's main focus was the light heavyweight title clash between Alex Pereira and Mahmoud Muradov, where Pereira's reign as champion came to a sudden end and Kalaev's victory dominated the conversation. But Aspinall saw an opportunity for himself. He took to social media to share his thoughts on the outcome's impact on the UFC's future and his own path toward a potential showdown with heavyweight champion Jon Jones.
The fight that everybody wants to see right now is Jones and Aspinall, and then there's no doubt that Pereira could fight to win it.
When do you think we would potentially see him back?
This summer.
Okay.
The UFC is about one guy being the champion of each division. I defended the interim once already. It's almost unheard of that. It's unprecedented. I thought it was silly the first time, to be honest. The reason that I did it, the first time I fought Curtis Blades, it went down as a loss. I got injured. Worst moment of my career, one of the worst moments of my life. I wanted to redeem myself and get the legit victory against Curtis Blades because it was unfinished business. Like, that was hurting my ego, and I wanted to prove that I was better than Blades, which I did in the rematch, and I defended the interim. But something else, that particular fight was in Manchester, in my hometown. I wanted to fight in my hometown. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that again in front of a sold-out, brand new Co-op Live arena in Manchester, England. I don't know if I'm ever going to have the opportunity to do that again. So for them two reasons, that's why I defended the interim. I'm not doing it again. Like, I've cleared out the rest of the division, undisputed, and that's it. I deserve a shot at being known as the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. Doesn't matter on the opponent, undisputed.
Until now, a super fight between Jon Jones and Alex Pereira had been a strong possibility, with both fighters expressing interest in facing off in the UFC's light heavyweight division. However, Pereira's loss at UFC 3113 changed everything. Tom Aspinall saw an opportunity and shifted his focus toward a long-anticipated heavyweight showdown with Jones. According to Aspinall, Pereira's defeat to Magomed Ankalaev ended his chances of challenging for the heavyweight title, while a fight between Pereira and Jones at light heavyweight was still possible. It no longer carried the same excitement since the title would no longer be on the line. With Pereira seemingly out of the picture, Aspinall positioned himself as the rightful contender for a massive heavyweight title clash with Jones.
You know what tonight told me? There's no way I make the Pereira fight.
Okay.
Jon's too big. Great wrestler. See how he took Stipe down in that first round? I like Alex Pereira. I like him personally.
But
it
he's
just
the greatest of all time, right?
it just doesn't make sense to make that fight. If they both want it bad enough and they're both hounding me or something, maybe I would do it. It's just Alex Pereira is killing it. Look at his age and what he's doing right now. What's the reason to go up and fight a guy that's so much bigger than you and such a good wrestler?
I've been staying away from the media and talking about Jon Jones a lot because, in all honesty, I'm sick of talking about it myself. But there needs to be updates. I have spoken to the UFC on multiple occasions about this fight. I'm chasing it up. I want the fight. What is holding it up right now is his side. That's the truth of it. Does he want to put himself in a position where he's comfortable enough financially to take the risk that he's taking to fight me? And that is where we're at. I'm not bothered where it is, who it's against. To be honest, it's not just the Jon Jones fight I'm looking for an opponent, and I'm not going to start now.
You were talking about Tom and Jon. Tom released that video blog a few days ago on the train where he was saying, like, Jon's side is holding up the fight. What is he referring to there?
Well, I think that, listen, Jon Jones definitely wants to fight. Just when and where is what we're working on now.
Do you feel confidence? I think you said Jon
I'm very
in summer on first
that
day.
that fight happens, yeah.
Summer?
Yeah.
And you were talking about Tom and Jon. Tom released that video blog a few days ago on the train where he was saying like Jon's side is holding up the fight. What is he referring to there?
Well, I think that, listen, Jon Jones definitely wants to fight. Just when and where is what we're working on now.
Do you feel confidence? I think you said Jon.
I'm very confident
Summer on first
that fight happens. Yeah.
Summer.
Yeah.
He keeps saying he doesn't want Aspinall.
Aspinall will need that fight. I don't need it. When you look at it, pretty much true. There's nothing that he's going to make winning that fight if it's not money. But for Aspinall, that will be everything.
Would you rather see him face Aspinall or would you rather see him face Pereira?
Aspinall will be a more challenging fight because Aspinall respond to a ground game better than Pereira. Aspinall will respond better in wrestling than Pereira. He can do what
that cool dudes. Love the guys as well. But he's the same height as me, if not an inch taller, but thick. And I was like, fuck, you're a lot thicker than I would expect. And the speed. That's the thing that I'm like, okay, that's the danger. But again, grappling, he's a black belt. Jon it's different. But I don't know, man. They gotta fight. But if they don't ever
Interim heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall has been vocal for months about his desire to face Jon Jones. Following UFC 3113, he didn't hold back calling on Jones to sign the contract and make their long-anticipated fight happen. Aspinall has earned his place in the UFC with an impressive record including a title defense against Curtis Blades, and is now more determined than ever to unify the heavyweight titles. On the other hand, Jones has taken a different path, while Aspinall has been climbing the ranks in the heavyweight division. Jones built a legendary legacy at light heavyweight, defending his 205 lb title 11 times and cementing his status as one of the greatest fighters in UFC history. Now the stage is set for a potential clash between these two dominant forces.
Think the Jon Jones versus Aspinall fight happens? For sure, that's gonna happen. Jon Jones is saying publicly that he's kind of being like iffy online about it.
He's annoying to me, and I just don't like him. If I give him the opportunity to fight me, then I want that fuck you money.
Maybe that's just a negotiation tactic, right?
At this point, he don't need to fight anymore, you know? If he fights, he's honest. Like, this is what I need to go inside that octagon and put the performance you want from my side. So this is what motivates me. This is what I need to go in. If you're willing to pay me, just pay me. If not, God bless you.
You think the UFC has to do with Tom Aspinall now?
I don't know. I mean, I was good champion, he's a great champion and stuff, and I want Jon Jones.
I think you would be the first one to beat him.
Damn right will be.
I just feel like based off the way he fights, his whole style with putting his fingers in your eye, kicking your knee back and keeping you away from him. He keeps you at his length where he wants. And you're a taller guy. You got longer arms than most people he fights and stuff like that. So I don't think he can do all that to you.
Do you know
Well, I know he's not scared of anybody. He's the greatest ever. No, he's the greatest ever. I'm talking about does he want to do it? You know, because we know he can beat anybody. Does he want to do it?
He does want to.
Fight. When do you think we would potentially see him back?
This summer.
Okay.
I don't want to fight dangerous up-and-comers anymore. I want to fight dangerous, established champions. So Tom can have the heavyweight championship. I don't really care about it. That my bio doesn't lie in belts anymore. I've created something much bigger.
Jon Jones is the fight. You have him fight the greatest of all time. You pay Jon Jones what he's worth. You do Alex versus Jon Jones. It's actually the only fight to make. Jon Jones versus Alex has to be next. That's ridiculous. And Clive's won 10 in a row. I get all that. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm a purist myself. I'm talking about straight business, Vince McMahon, WWE style. How are we going to make money? It's the winner of Jon Jones, Stipe, or bust. Everything else, we can't. It kind of fucks up everything, dude.
I'm the best heavyweight in the world. Prove me wrong, Jon. If you think you are, prove me wrong. Simple, nothing personal. I ain't hating on nobody. I'm the best heavyweight in the world. If you think you are, let's settle it. Simple as that.
Stipe wins the fight or Jon Jones wins the fight, the way that both of those guys are wired, I think they fight Aspinall.
So we'll start with retirement. The idea for me is to go out there and beat Stipe. You know, how rude of us is it to just be completely looking past Stipe already? So the main goal is to get past Stipe And if I can do it in a really dominant, devastating fashion, then the desire in my heart will be like, okay, now it's Alex Pereira. And if the UFC doesn't want that to happen, because ultimately it's the boss's decision, then it won't happen. And I would just move on with my life. But that's one of the ways I look at it is, would you guys rather lose me or get one more super fight? And the only super fight that makes sense to me, not to everyone else, but to me and my team, is Alex Pereira.
Whether or not you'd fight Tom Aspinall, whether you retire after this fight. I know we'd all love to see you keep going. How do you feel right now?
You know what? While I got the moment, while everybody's cheering and so happy, I want to acknowledge Jesus Christ. And I know that there's millions of people around the world watching right now. And I just want to let you guys know that Jesus loves you so much. That's all I'll say about that. And as far as my future in the octagon, I decided that maybe I will not retire, and that I have some conversations to have with Dana and Hunter, and we have some negotiating to do. And if everything goes right, maybe we'll give you guys what you want to see. I'm proud to be a great American champion. I'm proud to be a Christian American champion.
Aspinall Curtis Blades fights the winner of Jon Jones, Stipe Miocic. Absolutely.
You're calling out Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Right? That's the boogeyman. Like, Jon Jones is the fucking boogeyman. When he fought Gustafsson, he had almost no training camp. They said he barely showed up. Talked to Greg Jackson about it, and Greg Jackson he's like, he didn't even train for that fight. He pulled that fight off in the 4th and 5th rounds. That's when he really turned it up. So you're talking about a guy who hasn't even been training, and then you saw the real Jon Jones in the second fight. That's motivating.
I defended interim title. Yeah. Helen Brow defended it twice. If a situation arose, would you be prepared to defend that title again?
No, I ain't defending it again. I'm in a tough spot because Jon Jones is going to come back in a few months. So the Undisputed is going to be active. If the Undisputed is active, I should be fighting for the Undisputed next, and I won't move on that.
Obviously, you called out Jon Jones in the cage after the fight. Very respectful. Have you seen his message and response?
Yeah, I've seen it. Jon Jones still needs to sign on a dotted line saying he's going to fight me. He can say whatever he wants. Saying stuff and doing stuff is completely different. So if you're watching, John, you're invited. Turn up, because I'll be there. If you sign up, I'll be there.
You also talk about like the activity you wanted to fight. Name that's been mentioned is Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
Is that fight you actually think that could happen?
If it's for the Undisputed title, yeah, I'll fight anybody. Fight anybody for the Undisputed title. That's what I deserve. I deserve to fight for the Undisputed title next. So that's where that's going to be our next move for sure.
If Jon Jones had the chance of